Now check out Cam's shirt today, which is playing off his celebration last weekend. He said it's a nod to, quote, "We back," not "I'm back." So, Sal, how much pressure is on Cam Newton Sunday? I see him trying to course correct.
Yeah, already. He's like, damn, I could be a franchise quarterback again. I better get political up here. Low to no pressure on Cam Newton right now. And I'm going to tell you why. This was a team that was left for dead. And it's because of their own doing that they were left for dead. They whiffed on Sam Darnold. I like Sam Darnold in terms of talent, but I don't like him at the quarterback position consistently just because of his judgment and error. Now, if you're left to dead, P.J. Walker's not the answer. Let's stop that. Can we stop that? He has some talent in there, and we're going to see what that looks like, but in a reserve, limited role. It's not going to be as your franchise quarterback. So now, in case of emergency, you break glass, right? And here comes Superman, Cam Newton. But what they were trying to deal with was more than just a little fire that ice is starting to sink at the house. This was a forest fire. This team was left for dead. This season was over. They were going to waste the number 2 defense in the NFL because they didn't have a quarterback. And you go as far as your quarterback takes you. So you break glass. Here comes Cam Newton. And if he can't save all of this, you're going to blame the fire extinguisher for not putting out the forest fire? Like, are you really going to be looking at, damn, Cam? No, I'm going to look upstairs if I'm Cam Newton and be like, can I finally get an offseason? Can I finally get a preseason? Can I come back home fully, unpack my bags, and let's try to run this thing going forward? Because Cam Newton found himself in that same position in New England when it was no offseason, no preseason, barely go out there, and then all of a sudden is expected to make miracles. I just think this situation is low to no in terms of Cam Newton have to really go out there and do it all himself. Has the number 2 defense, has C-Mac right there. Ride that instead of putting it all on Cam Newton.
So I think there's a decent amount of pressure because the NFL isn't so much asking, what can I get? Can I get an all-season? Can I get a defense? It's more so you get what we give you.
Ooh,
that's how the NFL goes. You know it, I know it. It's like, hey, you're going to get whatever it is that we give you, period. So what you've been given, Cam Newton, is an opportunity to play again, first and foremost.
That's right.
An opportunity to play for a franchise that loves you, and also a premature opportunity to start. For being honest, you haven't really earned the right to start based on what you've done as of late. You earn the right based on who you are and what you've done historically. I think there's a decent amount of pressure because the Panthers know their final 4 games of the season. Buccaneers, Bills, Saints, Buccaneers. Okay. You know it's going to be hard to win all 4. You're not going to win all 4. It's going to be hard to win 3. You're not going to win 3. You might win 2 and maybe 1. So with that being said, Sal, you better beat Washington coming up next, and you better beat the Dolphins after that, and you sure as heck better beat the Falcons, because after that 3-game stretch, it's on and popping. And that's when the playoff life is on the line. So if you can't beat Washington, you're not going to be able to beat the Bills. If you can't beat Washington, you're not going to be able to beat the Bucs when they're actually playing for their life and their seeding. There's pressure because you got to be able to handle the lightweights just to fight the heavyweights. You can't beat the lightweight. They're not going to let you into the ring versus the heavyweights.
Great points. Great take. But I heard you, and then you took us to the end of the season and talked about how daunting that looks. But this is the same team that couldn't even foresee themselves being in this position. So if I didn't see this situation coming to reality, why do you now expect me to look at that situation like it's a daunting task? This is a team that could make it happen. You split with Tampa Bay, you go out there and you beat New Orleans, already that's 2 of the wins. And then roll the dice and trying to get one more out of that situation. Buffalo, potentially. I don't know what it looks like, but I know right now they were in an emergency situation. This was them calling 911. That's why Cam's starting right now. And this is not a coincidence. Cam Newton is starting this week because last week they scored the most points that they scored all year. You could say it's coincidence and it was P.J. Walker. You can't say P.J. Walker. He didn't score any touchdowns. Cam Newton, in his first 2 plays, scored 2 touchdowns. That's juice. That's electricity. That's lightning in the bottle. Now we're going to rub the genie and see how much more we can get in terms of making a wish. If you look at Cam Newton, it's a perfect situation. That's why I'm thinking it's low to no pressure. There's the only pressure of, wow, Cam, you kind of did hit the ground running last week in a limited basis. Now it's your team. What you gonna do? And I remember that pressure when I was a backup my first few years. Backup. And, dog, I used to love the expectations of a backup only because if you go out there and get 1 sack in 20 plays, people are imagining, dog, if he played the whole game, he gonna destroy him. Then you go out there and play the whole game and you still get 1 sack, and they're still happy with that. But Cam Newton's got to be happy with the opportunity he has, and more importantly, the team that he has. Defense, running game, all you need is Cam to be Cam, and you got something.
But so, you know, every Tuesday, or call it Wednesday, when you and I go into our defensive meetings and we're starting to study the players, we're not looking at their names, we're looking at how they play.
Right.
So if I'm Washington and I go in and I look at Cam Newton, and I see he threw a slant 5 yards behind the receiver. I see he threw a touchdown pass that was 2 yards inside of the receiver. And I'm Washington, and I just beat the greatest quarterback of all time and made him look pedestrian. I'm licking my chops against Cam Newton because I would love to be Cam Newton's first game back. There's pressure because Washington smells blood in the water. Y'all gonna roll out Cam Newton against us? That's borderline disrespectful.
Oh, wow.
Based on the tape he put on tape, I'm Washington defense. I'm like, oh, come out here and disrespect me if you want to. We gonna make you pay. We'll see if they make him pay.